Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. This video is the most requested video on all of my channels. We're gonna go over Spear Wand. This is a full in-depth guide on Spear Wand, and I'm gonna show you my rotation, everything on the practice dummies. First things first. In the description, there will be the build on questlog.gg that you can follow. That way you don't have to keep tapping back into the video. But let's get into the armor. The armor for this build, we are running 4-set Shadow Harvester. The helmet, the pants, the boots, and the gloves. We are also going to be running the Heroic Tunic of Resistance for extra hit chance, the Eldritch Whispers for the extra attack speed, and when you get into accessories, you're going to go with the Clasp of the Conqueror, the Bracers of Primal King, the Etched Alabaster Band, the Band of Universal Power, and the Belt of Bloodlust. When we look at our weapons here, yes, I do have Tevent Wand. You can swap that out with Shaikle's Wand if you do not have the Tevent Wand yet. But we are also running the Heroic Polar Arm of Resistance for the extra range distance. And stacking this with your Shadow Harvester gloves give you about 7-yard range comparatively to about 4-yard range. So you're going to get a little bit of extra distance for your sniping on your javelin throws. If we look at the traits here, guys, the traits, we are stacking magic endurance and ranged endurance on all of our armor pieces. We have cooldown speed for the helmet, max regen outside of the endurance on the chest piece, mana regen, I said max regen, mana regen on the chest piece and the leg piece, movement speed on the boots, mana regen on the gloves. And then when it comes to the cloak, we're going debuff, skill damage resistance, max health. The Clasp of the Conqueror, max health, buff duration, skill damage boost. Bracers, skill damage resistance, max health, debuff duration. Then we're looking at Etched Alabaster Band. We have the buff duration, skill damage boost, max health. Buff duration, skill damage boost, mana regen on the Band of Universal Power, and then Belt of Bloodlust is max health, skill damage resistance, debuff duration. You can kind of see the correlation that we have going on here with all of our armor traits and accessory traits. When we look at the weapon traits, we're still just going to stack your crit hit chance, heavy attack chance, hit chance, crit chance, heavy attack chance, hit chance on both weapons here. For some reason, my stats keep getting reset. What we're looking at outside of the traits, we're going to look at runes next. On the Tevent Wand, we're running dexterity, attack speed, synergy. Heroic Polar Arm, we're running perception synergy with shield block penetration chance. The accessories, max health, dexterity, attack speed, shield block. For the bracelet, then we're looking at max health, strength, shield block penetration, and perception, and then damage reduction, max health. Now, you use these how you see fit to help get your stat points to where they need to be. What we're looking for with the stat points on this build is we're going to run 50 strength, 60 perception for the extra hit chance, and then 45 dexterity. It's going to give us base 890 hit chance on our wand and 910 hit chance when we're on our spear without a food buff. We're looking at our endurances here. We have ranged endurance sitting at 924, magic endurance sitting at 963, all unbuffed. Hit chances are about 900. Of course, you can get food buffs that'll give you about 100 extra hit chance. You have your heavy attack sitting at 285, crit chance sitting at 737, Buff duration at 48%, debuff at minus 17%. Attack speed is 27 or 26.5%, cooldown at 24.9. Your mana regen is a huge one here, sitting at 1,093. Spear Wand is a very mana intensive build. And then last but not least, let's look at some of the runes that we're going to be running. The runes we're going to be running are your ranged magic endurances if possible, hit chance, crit chance, heavy attack chance for your attack weapons, and then weaken chance, skill damage resistance, and skill heal if possible for the yellow traits. Now let's get into a little bit of the rotation here. Oh, I'm in the wrong build. Little bit of the rotation. Okay, this is our PvP build. Or let's take a step back. Let's look at our skills next. Skills. We are going to be running Javelin Inferno, Explosive Fury, Abyssal Cleave, Touch of Despair, Phoenix Barrage, Flaming Arc, Curse Nightmare, Karmic Haze, Blessed Barrier, Rising Slash, Swift Healing, and Death from Above, with the block of the Patient block for the Spear block over the Wand block. Your passives, we're going to run Full of Corruption, Imposing Form, Fatal Precision, Mortal Wrath, Retaliatory Strike, Devotion and Emptiness, Vampiric Contract, and Malice Surge. If we look at our weapon mastery, we are going to get full weapon mastery on the bottom, down to attack speed when possible. Then we are going to get all the way to max health on the top row for charge. And then you're going to go into buff duration in the middle. This is going to give you the max mana regen, which is what we're really looking for, with the max amount of mana cost efficiency and damage. This build, I have it built attack speed and slight range. So we're looking realistically for the end on the bottom, face off for the attack speed, max health for a little bit more survivability. When you look at some of the other things that you're getting, like the endurance, since we're running an endurance build, stacking endurance is a little bit better. Mana regen, some of these little ones right here are going to be like your max, like maxing out this build. There are a few that are kind of meh whenever you go through this weapons here, which weapon masteries are changing soon, so we'll have to do another video. But like evasion, we're not running evasion, so there's no point in stacking evasion. Movement speed, don't really need movement speed. Cooldown speed is okay, but it's not the best. Now let's look at wand. Wand, slightly different. This one is going to be our, when you switch to wand, you're going to get, like this is your build for max damage, right? If I switch to wand mid-fight, I'm going to be able to do a lot more damage than I will on my spear. My spear is more for regen and defensive, right, with the endurance. On this one, you're going to want to go all the way to cooldown speed on the top for damage. The middle recovery, we're going to go all the way to buff duration, or actually mana regen, correction. We're going to go all the way to mana regen, and then on the bottom, we're going to go all the way down to max mana. So cooldown speed, mana regen, max mana. You could realistically take off cooldown speed, go to heavy attack if you want to stack a little bit more heavy attack. Very, very viable. You would just take off cooldown speed or max mana, which max mana might be the better stat to take off. All right, so now let's look at our rotation. With our PvP rotation, you have a couple of setups whenever you're ready to go in. First setup, I always lead with Touch of Despair. Touch of Despair, when I'm at a range, is going to get my damage flowing on a target. Because I have to vent 1, I'm getting the Touch of Despair stack and the chance at the to vent curse stack as well. On at least 3 targets within a certain radius, because of Touch of Despair. So I could stack it pretty good by just staying at a range, and get quite a bit of damage flowing, especially if I get some heavy attacks, like the one on the left right here sitting at 1300 damage a second, which is wild. The other way to kind of initiate is we're going to initiate with our sleep bomb. So we would pop a sleep into Karmic Haze. Now, if you have your Touch of Despair stacks going, and this is why I like leading with it, you can get your Touch of Despair stacks on every single target in a certain radius, which is massive. Once you do follow up with the sleep bomb like that, the next step after the sleep bomb, when you sleep a target, is you're going to come in and you're going to use your Explosive Fury and try to aim it towards where the mobs are, right? So you're not wanting to use Explosive Fury facing away from like the enemies. You're wanting to use it towards certain enemies because it does go through your current target into the targets behind them. Sorry. When you use Explosive Fury, it does build your stacks of Ember, which you can now use your Flame Javelin, like the Javelin Inferno. This is where most of your AoE is going to go. So how I like to do these combos is I will get my Touch of Despair, I'll do my Karmic Haze, right? Sleep into a Karmic Haze. I'll come in, do my build my stacks for my Javelin, and then throw my Javelin. Now the Javelin Inferno, as you see, is massive damage. Massive damage. That is your like quick little jump into a fight, initiate, get out. Now if you were with a full Zerg, you have like a lot of people with you, you kind of want to tweak it slightly only to get your Javelin Infernos more damage. And what I mean by that is you want to use your Abyssal Cleave aggressively, okay? And your Flaming Arc aggressively. If you come in, your normal initiate, get everything going, build your stacks of Javelin Inferno, before you use Javelin Inferno, you want to use Abyssal Cleave for extra crit damage, into Flaming Arc to weaken people around you, then you use your Javelin Inferno. So you get an extra 200 to 400 damage per Javelin hit on top of what you've already been doing, which that 200 to 400 damage when it's heavy attacked is going to double, so it could be 400 to 800 damage, which could be just enough to get you some of those kills. If you have like more in-depth fights, you can use your Phoenix Barrage as a filler, which is going to be quite a bit of AoE damage as well, get some of those ignites out. But the initial setup, the initial rotation that most people ask for on my streams and everything is your Touch of Despair into Sleep, into Karmic Haze, come in, build up your stacks of Javelin Inferno, use your Javelin Inferno, rinse, repeat, get out. If you're getting chased, you'll use defensive abilities such as like Blessed Barrier, Swift Healing, your Trinket, or your like gem that gets you out of CC. I run the health one for extra health. Into Death from Above if you need to kind of like CC them again. There's a lot of different outs that you have with this build, which your Sleep, your Stun, Abyssal Cleave you can use defensively to stun someone to get away, but outside of your initial CC into burst, you don't want to stay in the fight with this build. Staying in the fight with this build, unless you have a Zerg, you will die 100%. How open world PvP works in this game is the more numbers you have, the better you're gonna do. So you really want to just kind of go in, get your AoE burst down real quick. The CC will break right about your javelin throws, get out. Now you, in that certain like window of like 5 to 7 seconds, you will be able to do 15 to 25k damage to 10-15 targets, right? So you're going to be able to go in, wipe entire guilds with just your sleep bomb. Now, being strategic about it, if those guilds are spread out, things like that, you want to pick your battles, right? You don't want to go in and dive bomb 3 targets when there's 10 targets 5 feet, like 10 feet away that you can't CC. Because if you get interrupted in any of this like rotation, it's 100% just get out, reset, get out, reset. This build is massive. It will be meta once we see some of those spear buffs come through. You will see Spear Wand be the new sleep bomb over Wand Dagger. Wand Dagger is massive for like the explosions, but this build specifically is going to be the next like Zerg Wand build. So keep an eye out for it. And if you like the video today, guys, go ahead, give it a like, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I also stream every single night on TikTok and Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern, so come check it out. I appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting, especially on TikTok over there, like 1.3 million views. So the Teddy Nation, we're moving on up, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.